Hello everybody, it's Nina. Thanks for joining me today for a new tutorial. I'm going to be featuring some of the Simon Says Stamp Love Release products, and I'm going to show you how I created this really cute and colorful border design using the new Cupid's Heart border die and also the Here For You die set. So you can see that there's this really nice dimensional effect on that border die, and it's very subtle, but it creates a really nice effect. I also used, like I said, the Here For You die, and I'm using the Cupid's Heart border. And I'm going to use these and show you how I created them into a really fun and beautiful card design with a very simple dimensional technique. So I started off by taking a bunch of scrap paper and also a piece of pink cardstock. I'm going to cut from the scraps of paper. I've got red, purple, blue, and also some green. And I'm going to cut all of these papers using that border die. I'm going to end up cutting out each color twice except for the green. So I'm using my mini die cutting machine from Altenew. This is the Mini Blossom, and that's just because it's a really handy tool to be able to help have on my desk and really easy to help cut out all of these border dies. I also took that pink piece, which I had cut the border from, into the bottom portion of that panel. I also had cut that with a stitched rectangle die from Simon Says Stamp, and I put a piece of double-sided sticky tape behind the heart pattern. Just behind the heart pattern because I'm going to use that as the inlay portion of my design. So because it has that sticky area there showing through between the negative portions of this design, that's allowing me to lay all of these little hearts and pieces into place, and that's going to hold down those hearts really nicely, and I don't have to use a lot of liquid glue and spend time trying to glue all those pieces together. I can just fit them back into place like a puzzle. Now I also took this twisted stitch border die from Simon Says Stamp and cut the bottom edge of that panel to give it a nice little scallop design. With some double-sided sticky tape, I added that to the back of that panel and then put that on top of some fun foam to give the whole panel some dimension, so that way when I put this onto my card, there's a little bit of relief from that panel and then the card base itself. So it just gives a little bit more extra dimension. Now, like I said, we're going to be creating a very simple dimensional effect on these hearts, but I also created a dimensional effect on the sentiment itself. So the sentiment says for you, but it's actually from the whole entire set that says here for you. I liked just for you part, so I'm just going to go ahead and take that and layer 4 layers of white cardstock cut from that die, and I'm adhering them all together to create that dimensional sentiment effect. After I adhered the sentiment down onto my card, I brought in some of these beautiful rainbow sparkle gems from Lucy's Cards, and I'm adding these into the areas that have the little circle cutouts. I could have inlaid some more cardstock, but I wanted to use some sparkly gems for this particular design. So here's where I'm creating that dimensional effect with those heart shapes. I cut out the hearts from those scraps of cardstock a second time, and I'm using those second layers to go ahead and put down on top of some Simon Says Stamp Craft Tacky Glue. Now I chose Craft Tacky Glue because when you apply this down onto something, you apply a thick layer of it. If you lay something on top of it and don't smush it down, it dries a little bit dimensional. So because I put such a thick layer of that adhesive into the center portion of each of these hearts, and then I lay the hearts on top, once it dries, it gives the hearts a slight dimensional effect. Nothing super bulky, but it looks really cool and gives some nice relief off of the card design. To finish off the card, I added a little bit of purple twine across the top, and this clean and simple card is finished, and I really like that the clean and simple style of it goes so well with this beautiful heart border die, and that lets the hearts shine because we kept the whole design very simple. Now I also, before I go, want to share a couple of other cards that I created using the new release. This particular card is using the Shiny Hearts die set, and I cut that from a Distress Ink smushed background. Added some beautiful silver watercolor effects and some sentiments using a fairly new stamp set from Simon Says Stamp called Love and Friendship. I also did some watercoloring with the beautifully new Cosmos background stamp set. Now I created quite a few examples using this particular stamp, and I encourage you to check out the video that I have linked down in the video description, also at the end of this video and over on my blog, because I'll show you how I created all of these cards and created 2 very distinct and different effects using the same stamp set. So I hope you enjoyed this video and got some inspiration on using the new Cupid's Heart border die and also some of the other fun products that are in the new Simon Says Stamp Love Release. There is a blog hop that's happening today featuring the new Love Release. and I am one of the stops, so I encourage you to head on over to my blog to participate in the blog hop and enter in the giveaway. Thanks so much for joining me today. I will be back again soon with more inspiration for you. Until then, have a fabulous day. Bye!